so you went into you know, you went out to DC, audition, and so you get the call to come back, and you there to battle Blind Fury. Is that what you said? Yeah. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So when they give me the date that I'm going, I'm watching, I'm following along, right? And I'm like, okay, my dude Beavis is doing pretty good. He ain't too bad, right? And I'm like, they're not gonna bring nobody in that could really get to him, right? So when they call me, they're like, I need you here for this date. I'm like, oh, well, this Blind Fury's retirement week. He's like, yeah, unfortunately. I'm like, fuck you mean unfortunately? Like, you're setting me up, bro. Like, there's no way. Dude's too good to be Muhammad Ali. Like, I'm not gonna come in there and knock dude out. Like, there ain't no way. He's too good. So, of course, I'm not gonna tell him I ain't coming. So I go, and even if you watch it online, there's a lot of comments where they're like, hey, Blayze's second verse, there should have been a third round. They should have done a third round. They ain't gonna do a third round. Even unless he would have just completely dropped the ball and quit rapping. He knew how to hold his own enough to keep that victory. And so after it's done, I'm livid. I'm mad as fuck. Like, man, because BET don't pay for you to go. You pay for your own shit. You pay for your flight. You pay for your room. However, you pay for everything. They don't pay for nothing. And so Pat Charles, the executive producer at the time, comes up right after it's done. He's like, we're going to bring you back, bro. We're going to bring you back. I'm like, man, fuck you are. That's what you tell everybody, man. Get me the fuck up out of here, right? So I leave, and that was January of 11. May of 2012, my phone rings. I'm in Tampa, and it's Pat Charles. I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, you ready to come back? I was like, does a bear shit in the woods and wipe his ass with a rabbit, bro? Like, hell yeah. So he was like, bet, I need you here. I remember exactly what week it was. And so I get back, and the dope shit was that, like, all the security, the camera guys, they all remember me just from my one time being there. Because I guess it's just my personality where I just stand out for whatever reason. Like, I'm just outgoing. I don't know a stranger. Like, I'll talk to everybody. And so when I get there, they're like, will you please beat this motherfucking Showtime cat, bro? They're like, all he does is this little gay ass cough shit. I was like, oh, he does that? Okay, bet. So I'm looking, and I go in. Well, this time when I go, I'm prepared because I didn't know they was writing before they got there. So I'm like, all right. So I had me some little bars for him. He ain't stand a chance. It's over with. Right. And that's when I became champion, 2012.
Okay. So I want to get back to that too, but going back to the first time, do you remember you against Blind Fury? And some people, I guess, might seen him throughout time on social media and stuff like that.
Sure.
First question, you kind of already said, but like, what did you think of him? And do you remember any of your bars that you said against him? Any punchlines? So
as far as he goes, like, and don't get me wrong, dude's dope. Like, the dude's freestyling ability is top tier. He can come off the top of the head with some shit, but like, he's supposed to be blind, yet he'll talk about what you look like. And nobody seemed to catch. I caught it right then. I'm like, hold the fuck up. And then like when it was all over with, I was sitting there thinking like, I should throw the mic at his face and see if he ducked. Like, if he ducked, it exposed him. If it don't duck, he's still funny. It's funny as hell. It's viral, right? But I didn't do it. I ain't do it. But as far as the bars I used against him, I said something where, man, I know I said something about him looking like Helen Keller had a kid with Rob Dyrdek. I remember that one. I remember saying he looked like he survived abortion. I remember I said at one part where I said his underbite so big he could chew on his chin, and it should have been his overbite, but it was still funny as hell. Right. And then when he was rapping, he would move his fingers like this, and they'd be all up like this. And I said something about it looked like he was reading Braille while he was rapping, like. And so just I remember them few little lines and shit, but yeah, dude was you motherfucker. I know I silenced that bitch. My bad. There you go. But yeah.
So you go back and you face the Showtime SP and you beat him, and then you become the champion. Yeah. And what it feel like, even the first time with Blind Fury, you know, because like around the town or whatever, you know, Cause that's my hometown too, you know.
Yeah.
People was talking like, you see Blayze on TV or even on TV. What it feel
Yeah.
like, you know, just like kind of have like the whole city behind you and stuff like that, and like kind of, you know, representing the area and stuff on national TV.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was a, you know, at the time that was a huge show. You know
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
What
yeah.
did that feel like?
It was good, man. Like when I lost, I felt like I was devastated that first time. I was like, "Are you kidding me, bro? Like the blind dude, bro? Like really?" Because I had beaten way better dudes than him before, like way better. And so when I finally got to go back and kind of redeem myself, so to speak, it was a great feeling, man, to come back home. Because you know that's when all those I've known Blayze forever come out, that people I ain't never met. And so the best part is because growing up, I've had 2 last names my whole life, Brandon Floyd and Brandon Lakes, right? Some people know, some people don't, right? So the best part is when people would come up to me talking about like, oh yeah, you know Brandon Lakes, that's my boy. And I'm like, yeah, no, I think I heard of him. What's he do? And I just let them go on about it, not knowing I'm the same person, and just lets me know because I ain't never met him a day in my life. But because I was doing the TV thing, you know, they knew me. They was, and so that was a funny part. But then we started getting calls from like, I think the Journal did a write up on us. Channel 5 did an interview with us on TV. Channel 19 called my mama. Went and did an interview with my mama when I was out of town doing a show. All of a sudden I come home and I see on YouTube they got my mama sitting on the front step talking to her and shit. I'm like, when the hell did they do this? Like, I didn't even know they had done that. Right. But the Wiz did some stuff on the Wiz with Young Steph I think Young Steph was there at the time. Yeah. So it was dope, man. It was just because everybody, no, Hamilton wasn't really that known. You know, we got Roger Troutman, but a lot of people don't even know Roger Troutman is from Hamilton. Like, so to get on there and make sure, like, hey, don't put Cincinnati, man. You put Hamilton on there because I'm not from Cincinnati. I'm from Hamilton. That's it. Yeah. And so that was pretty dope. That was pretty dope, man.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so you beat Showtime, and then you faced P. Marty.
Yeah.
What happened there?
I beat him.
Okay.
Yeah, I won that week. But there were some controversial things that happened during that week that the show wasn't too happy with, and the same as mine. And so they ended up bleeping quite a few of my bars up. And then the following week, which would have been if I would have won, it would have been 4th week champion or 3rd week champion. They told me I was battling one person, but I get there to somebody else. So it was kind of a setup, but it is what it is. You can't find the P. Marty online nowhere because of that.
What was it?
So I don't, like, I'm sure you've seen 8 Mile and all that, right? And so I had come up with some lines that were they said were too edgy. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, and he was like, well, you got to think about the 10-year-old kid watching that, and they're watching a white dude talk about a black guy. And I'm like, but you didn't bleep him out saying honky and crack or nothing. And my stuff, and you know me, like, you can call me with an ego, loud, but racist is not one of them, right? And there weren't even racist bars. It was just funny off the top shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude was dark skinned as fuck, had on black forces, right? And I said something like, you want to be the champ, but you don't compare. Look, them black shoes match you. It looks like you're barefoot. And they were like, oh, fuck, we can't have him saying that, right? But while I'm there, the whole crowd was laughing. They was on it, right? And so, but he was on me like, oh, white boy this, honky that. And I'm like, but that's okay. Like, all right. So they called me like, we got to bleep it out. Da, 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 da. And then I lost the following week. Okay. Yeah.
And who'd you lose to?
I don't remember dude's name.
Okay.
And because if you go back and watch it, I felt like I beat him, but I don't even know if you can find them online. Because BET copyright, some new thing that they passed when Viacom sold out from BET, everything came down. Right. So I don't even know if you can find the first video, the Showtime video.
Okay.
But I got it on my phone though.